Hey, Timmy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, here we are another week. Sean, so much stuff has happened. We just got to get started right away. Remember we
Before
talked
we
about
start, you better
it?
slide a little to the left because your head,
Yeah.
you only got a half a head in our film.
How's that sound?
There you go.
So look anyway. Look at we got to get right into these fire issue problems. Remember last week we had a problem with the fire hydrant down on Remsen Street? Well, lo and behold, what happened? Go right into it.
Well, we had another fire today, right?
Yeah.
And, last week we were talking about a fire hydrant that people were calling us about saying, hey, the city has told them that they're not going to fix it. It's a low level issue. They'll get to it.
Yeah.
And then we put it on the show. And of course, I think many times when we, put show things on the show, people decide to start bombarding the city and the city says, we better fix these things. I have
Yep.
told you that fire hydrants should be a top priority, not a
Yep.
bottom of the barrel priority. If they're broke, fix them. If
They
they're
fixed
not
it on
broke,
Rentham Street, right?
right.
And they still got one on Simmons Avenue there with a plastic garbage bag over
Well,
it. But
listen,
this happens.
long and behold, today there's a fire.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a fire. And this is what it says from the fire chief. Firefighters' efforts were hampered by difficulty getting water on the fire. We had some hydrant problems.
Right, right,
And it
right.
ain't nothing to laugh about because
Right.
now you got a 3-story building, people
Yep.
living in it. You can't get water on the fire because the fire hydrant has some kind of malfunction. And most
Yep.
importantly for me, listen, the longer a fire burns, the more people's lives are put in danger. And even
Yes.
if everybody's out of that fire, then firefighters' lives are put in danger. You know why? Because now the fire's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you expect these guys to go into this burning building to try to put out the fire, and they have no water. And
Right.
so
And these buildings are close together too, so it can spread so quick.
this isn't a joke. This isn't let's go on truth,
Yep.
lies, and political bullshit and pick on the city. This is
Yep.
a show about talking about the political bullshit that happens every day. It just happens to
Yep.
be Cohoes is taking the cake all across the state of New York with
Yeah.
shit after shit after shit. And if you can't
We
fix your fire
predicted
hydrant,
this, Sean.
well, we
We
did. I said it.
predicted this
I told you.
last
I
week.
told you. Last week, I said to you, somebody's going to get hurt. Something's going to
Yep.
happen. We're going to have a fire. Fire hydrant ain't going to work because they don't care. Now, I don't know how they maintain their fire hydrants any longer. I'll tell you how we used to do it. Every year, twice a year, they flush the hydrants, right?
Yep. Yep.
Because you want to get the water moving, the dead end water. You want to keep the water pressure, clean the water,
Yes.
etc. I don't know exactly what the science is behind flushing them. Other than I know that they have loops and they want to, clean the
They
water
just want to make it work.
yeah,
So
it's just kind of a basic maintenance.
yeah.
And when I was the mayor, Kenny Radliff was the DPW commissioner. My response to him is there's nothing more important than fire hydrants working. And we need to know which ones don't work. And the fire
Yep.
department needs to know so they can put it on the board. And you need to know so that you can get immediately in gear to get these fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when they flushed the hydrants, we took notes and repaired any broken fire hydrant. It was the
Yeah.
easiest, simplest, and
Yeah.
best way to manage the fire hydrants, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
we used to do this like in a 2 or 3 week span. I used to ask them to come in at night so they could run these things all night long while people were sleeping, so it didn't affect their water, right? Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times when you run these fire hydrants, you get real low pressure, the water comes
Yes.
out dirty. You go to take a drink and you got mud coming out of your sink, which is something we're getting used to in this city. Um, but we would have them come in at night. Now, it would be done in a very quick manner because we wanted to make sure we could get through all these fire hydrants, make sure the fire hydrants are
Yeah.
working. Certainly not perfect, but a system. I don't even know if they're flushing hydrants. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how long it's taken them to go through the hydrants. People are telling me they've had hydrants in front of their houses for 7, 8 years that haven't been flushed. Now I know it can't be 7 or 8 years because I was flushing them,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know what they've done the last 5 years. But here's what I do know: Fire Chief Joe Fod is saying that we had a issue with a fire hydrant, and
Couldn't
that's
get
why we couldn't
water.
get
Right.
and that's why we couldn't get water on the fire. Now, I
Imagine
mean,
being a firefighter and you need to get water on a fire, and the hydrant's not working. Imagine that.
Yeah, well, you don't have to imagine it no more. In this moron city run by a moron, this is what you have, right?
Yes.
Steve Hennessy is very anxious to get down into a hole and get all dirty and muddy because that's what he is. He's a hole rat. That's what he wants to do. He wants to. And I don't listen. I'm not knocking the guy for what he's good at, right? But
Mhm.
but he doesn't have the skills to be a DPW commissioner and run a city because he can't focus on the big picture. He's
Priority.
yeah, he's a guy that focuses on one thing at a time. Kenny Radcliffe, I used to say the poor bastard, I run him crazy.
Yeah.
He'd have a list of 40 things to get done on Friday, and I'd be giving him another 40 on Saturday.
Yep.
But they got him done because DPW workers are phenomenal.
Yes.
They work their ass off. They're the kings of the city. They make this city run. Look at firefighters are vital, right? They get called out when there's an emergency. We need them. Cops are vital. They keep our streets safe. But who makes sure all the water comes out? Who makes sure you can flush your toilet? Who makes sure you got heat? Who makes sure all the parks are clean, the grass is? It's
Yeah.
DPW. They're the
That's
cog
right.
that turns the wheel. I have nothing but great respect for them, but I think the leadership is really bringing them down. And and when we have a DPW commissioner that says fire hydrants ain't that important, hey, wake up. Good morning. I hope you've seen the fire. I hope you realize your hydrant wasn't working properly. I hope
Right.
you'll get all your guys out and go around this week and try to fix the fire hydrants that are broken because we can't afford to be burning down many more houses in this
Yeah,
city.
and worst case is, if it wasn't for whistleblowers coming to us, Sean, and saying we've had this thing out and broken for 3 weeks. Okay, we brought attention to it. We got one fixed down on Remsen Street. I know there's another one on Simmons Avenue. Got a garbage bag over it, guys. It cannot be that way. So, you know, we brought it to their attention, and for Christ's sakes, here another one that's unknown on Congress Street, not working, and
Yeah.
you got a
And
three-story building on fire.
obviously, people are telling us about them. How the hell would I
Yeah,
know? I'm not out checking fire hydrants anymore. I
right.
don't think you are either.
No,
You're
I'm
too
not.
you're too busy doing other things, right? You're like filing
Yeah.
complaints at the the
Well,
ethics
yeah,
board.
yeah,
Something we'll get to shortly.
I'm busy being the seventh council member in this city. Okay, unelected.
Unelected council member. It's
Right.
something we'll talk about very shortly. But
Yeah.
Timmy, I want to jump over to something else, right? Because
Yeah.
I got to make sure that I find it right here because it just makes me insane.
Hmm.
We are in the United States of America. Nothing should take precedence over the United States of America.
Yeah.
And under the Biden administration, I would be sitting home and I'd be so angry watching these anti-American people, and I don't believe they're all students, bum rushing our colleges and talking about how Hamas is great and we love Hamas and going after these Jewish kids that are just trying to go to school and get an education. It was angering me. I couldn't imagine if I was a Jewish kid or a family of a Jewish kid sending my kid to a college for $50,000 a semester, like
Hmm.
Columbia and the rest of these other
Yeah.
colleges.
Hmm.
Um, but one of the things that happened over the course of the Donald Trump administration, and it happened relatively quickly, right, is Trump decided that if you are an agitator, if you are somebody who's in this country, green card or not, student or not, if you're going to go to these colleges and you're going to threaten Jewish people and you're going to praise Hamas and you're going to step over the American flag and call our
Yep.
country the shithole
And
and
burn
and
our
and
flag. Yep.
and I mean Hamas. This is
Right.
like saying that you believe in Charlie Manson, right?
Yeah.
They went around killing people in the dark of the night. Well, Hamas, they parachuted in the day and destroyed families, killed babies, cut people's
Yeah.
heads off. Right? We're still got hostages that they're being
They're
released,
still hostages. Yep.
and they're just some of them are just dead bodies. And can
Right.
you imagine the balls that come to this country? This is what our country's turned into. We allow them to come here to get
Yep.
educated, and they spit in the eye of America, and they promote this terrorist organizations. And then when we decide we have a president who's got the balls to say, get their green card, pack their bags, and send them the hell home. This is
Yeah.
what happens. Now, this
Yeah.
is a picture of a assemblyman, and he is a candidate for mayor of New York. Okay, this
Yeah.
guy's name is Zohan Ma. How the hell I say his last name? Mama Denny. He
Whatever
was,
it is.
yeah, I can't even. I tried to pronounce it 3 times, but it's Zoran Mamdidi, and he was born in Uganda.
Hmm.
Somehow he made his way to the United States, gets to be a citizen. I hope he did it the right way. Gets himself elected as a member of the council in New York. Now he wants to be the mayor. But look at the actions of this anti-American piece of shit.
Play it.
Can you? I know you can hear it, right?
Oh yeah, I can see and hear it. Yeah.
Is it playing?
Well, not playing so much,
Linear
but
binaural
You got to
mod
wait for this
devices
stupid
uses
ass.
dual mode stimulation to soothe
yeah,
tinnitus.
add the skip.
Linear-
Yeah, I know.
It's
Yeah,
the only way I can
here
play
it is.
Did you see this piece of shit?
Yeah.
Do you
Yep.
believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe it? Yeah, I believe in the First Amendment.
Do they
We
have a
all
First
believe in the
Amendment in
First Amendment.
Uganda?
This is not the First Amendment when you're talking about killing Jewish kids.
Hmm.
This ain't the First Amendment when you're talking about Hamas and you're praising them, how great they are. This isn't a guy who's got the right to come here and protest peacefully and even burn the American flag as much as it makes me sick, right? They have
Yep.
a right to do this shit, Timmy. But this is not the same. This is a guy promoting death. This is a guy promoting Hamas, killing
Yep.
people and threatening Jewish kids. And I think that the president should be applauded for finally going after these schools and throwing these kids off the campus, going after the school, taking away their money. I think it's the best thing that we could do. And I hope that he continues to do it. But to think for 1 minute, this guy's running for mayor of New York City, this
Yeah.
woke, left, liberal lunatic, and he
And
attacks
yeah.
ICE for protecting this country. That's what we have. That's what we
Yeah.
have today.
You know what? So I would not want to be you, Sean. You got this guy running and your buddy Cuomo running.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, what has this country
Come,
become?
yes, it's insane.
Now, I know that every generation, I assume every generation has gone through turmoil, right? You had the Vietnam War, you have all these other wars, you have all these other protests, you have all these, anti this, anti that. I get it. But I've never seen nothing like I see today. And
Yeah.
I think here's the downfall of society, right? It's this thing called the telephone. It's this thing called social media. You hear people say things that they would never say before to your face and I'm not talking about because they're scared. It's just
Yep.
you have more respect and more dignity to say some of the things that are said on Facebook. You wouldn't say it to people's faces because you know it's wrong.
Hmm.
You know it doesn't make you a good person. You know that's not how we're supposed to act amongst our neighbors. But on Facebook, the shit that they spew and the shit that's thrown out there and the stuff they do to kids and in 15 minutes I could call for some kind of protest and all these crazy bastards that are just sitting by on their Facebook page.
TikTok and all that
They'll
other thing.
organize in 20 minutes and you got 20,000 people down
Yeah.
on one of the most prestigious colleges in New York chanting, kill the Jewish kids.
Right, and they manage to get signs made up real quick and everything else, and a lot of the signs are the same, so they're organized.
Well, it's that Soros piece of shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He is Antichrist. If you want to know who the devil is walking, it's Soros, it's his kid, it's these people that put in all these crazy left-wing DAs that don't want to arrest people for crime. There's no way in the world that 8 colleges across the United States all have the same signs made at the same sign maker, is it? But they do.
Yeah,
Was that just
maybe.
coincidence? Or is that bullshit, Timmy?
Yeah. I think it's organized myself, and I think it's organized with the students themselves because it's mainly this one university,
Well,
Columbia.
I don't even know if it's if these people are students. I mean, I believe wholeheartedly a lot of them are just paid agitators.
Yeah, they very well may be. Here's 50 grand, go into this college in the U.S.
Yeah, and destroy
Once
it.
they accept you there, go ahead and wreck it.
But Joe Biden allowed them to go in and hold teachers hostage,
Yeah,
break windows in the college, take over the buildings.
set up tents. A tent
Hey,
city.
Donald
Yeah,
Trump may be a nutcase, and you may love him or you
yeah,
may hate him. But I'll tell you what, he ain't going to let these kids come in and destroy these colleges. And then you find out that 95% of them ain't even students. They're not even,
yeah.
and they're here on a green card. Take their
Hey.
fucking green card away, Timmy. Have a bonfire right there in front of them. Rip up their green cards, throw it in the barrel, and let it burn. Put them on a plane and send them away.
And take away the college's federal
And
funding.
take away
if
the
they want
college's
to.
money because these liberal colleges are teaching your kids that this is okay.
Yeah,
Listen,
right out of high school too.
if you are listening to the show, I got some advice for you. I don't know if my advice means shit. Send your kids to the trades. Let them go
Yeah.
make $120,000, $130,000, $150,000 a year working in the trades, doing something productive. Don't send them to a school so that when they come out, they're arguing with you over Hamas being better than the United States, because that's
Yeah.
what's happening.
And
Kids
they can't even, right, and they can't even find a job in there.
they don't even want a job.
No.
Hey, Timmy, if you go back 25, 30, well, you're older than me. If you go back 40 years, 45 years, right?
Yeah.
Can you remember that far?
Yeah.
You weren't
And
thinking the same way.
Your audio is going, but your face is frozen.
Yeah, our podcast sucks. There's no doubt about
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
There's
Anyway.
nothing. Yeah, we pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The podcast sucks. It freezes up, and until I can figure it up, we're gonna have a half-assed podcast. So you can watch it or you can hate it. I don't really.
Well,
give a
we
shit.
can hear the audio, so just keep going.
Yeah, so
It
I
looks
can
like-
see.
It looks like you're kissing somebody. Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Is it still
so
frozen?
anyway, you were on a roll here. Keep on going.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to do because I really am on the roll and I don't care no more. I'm
Keep
signing
going.
off for tonight and I'm taking a break from the podcast for a couple months until I can figure out how to get it right. So until then, I'll see you. See you all later. God bless you. And when I figure this shit out, we'll be back.
Adios.